Have you ever had that point in your career where you're feeling a little stagnant, a little disillusioned? Did you ever ask yourself, is this as good as it gets? I have. My name's CJ Demarco, and I'm here to talk to you about and tell you my personal story that if you take advantage of the educational opportunities that Aveda has to offer, you can grow to be a busy stylist, an effective manager, and also a mentor and an educator. Now, my family's been in the hair business for 3 generations. I got my start at an Aveda salon that was owned by my father and employed by family, either by blood or just by association. But 4 years ago, I gave that all up to move across the country from California to New Jersey to marry a girl that I fell in love with on vacation. I left a busy salon that I could have taken over, a full book of clients that took me 10 years to build, and all my friends and family to boot. Now, if I'm being honest, at this point in my career, I wasn't too affected by leaving the family business. I'd become a little bit burnt out. I stopped learning and I stopped growing. My career suffered, and so did my relationships. I looked outside of enjoyment for work. I looked outside of work for enjoyment. I took lots of trips. I made lots of friends. But when I came home, my problems were still waiting for me. But now my life was about to change in a big way. I was about to get married. I was moving across the country. I remember sitting on my last plane ride to California, from California as a New Jersey. I remember sitting on my last plane ride to New Jersey as a California resident. I remember thinking to myself, I had to find a way to make a life for me and my new wife. I had no one to bail me out. It was do or die. In my mind, I could just imagine the conversations that my new in-laws were having with their friends. Oh, your daughter got engaged. That's great. What does your son-in-law do? Yeah, he's an unemployed hairdresser. I can still feel that anxiety today. I considered leaving the hair business altogether. I imagined what my life would be like outside of hair, but it was all I knew. With some encouragement from my new fiance, I decided that I would give it one last go. I mean, after 90 years of my family being in the business, I couldn't exactly hang up my scissors without feeling like I'd left something on the table. The first and foremost thing in my mind was that if I found the best Aveda salon in my area, I would have good education opportunities and I could grow. Upon doing some research, I came across Riziri's Salons and Spas in New Jersey. Fashion-forward, trend-setting, and owned by 3 generations of prestigious hairdressers. I applied 3 different times, and it took months to hear back. When I finally got a call back for an interview, I literally dropped everything I was doing and I headed straight over. When I sat down with my new boss, my future boss, Frank Riziri, he asked me what I was looking for. My answer was simple. I said I was looking for a home. The day I started, I knew I was in over my head. I looked around the building and saw the work that my new coworkers were putting out. I knew that I was going to have to step my game up. I told myself that if I wanted to step up, I was going to have to step out of my comfort zone and learn some new skills. One of the first people that started a conversation with me was our salon development partner. I asked her if there was any upcoming classes coming up on the calendar, and she directed me to avedaeducation.com, which opened up a whole new world of possibilities to me. On avedaeducation.com, I found classes from hairstyling to hair cutting and even hair coloring, from beginner level all the way up to mastery. It was going to be a lot of work, and I knew I had to make sacrifices. I spent my weekends going to classes. I spent my mornings practicing. I stayed so late after work that the lights would turn out on me and be packing up my tools in the dark. But you know what? I started to see results. My schedule started to fill up with repeat guests. And when they asked me about my weekends, I was happy to tell them that I'd spent my time investing in my skills, and now they were reaping the benefits. And so was I. As things started to go well at work, other opportunities started to open up for me. When my boss, Frank, invited me to come to Aveda Fashion Week in New York, it was a terrifying experience. It was exciting. It was fast-paced, but I loved it. My boss, Frank, told me that his grandfather had had the first barber school in New Jersey, and how to honor him, he wanted to open up a barber shop and name it after him. Now, Frank Riziri is a great guy for taking a big idea and kicking it around. I believed in his vision, and I was all in. I was excited for the new opportunity, but I was also a little bit nervous. Now, I had managed before at my dad's salon, but working for family was a very different situation that I now found myself in. I knew that if I wanted to do a good job and excel at my new position, that I was going to have to increase my business acumen. Again, I went to Aveda for help. I went back to avedaeducation.com and I found out about the Aveda Business College. On there, I found a series of classes that are available to Aveda salon owners and managers that'll help you increase your financial literacy. I took a class called Benchmarking for Success, which taught me that there are measurable benchmarks, not only for the expenses of the business, but also for the performance. I used this knowledge of the numbers to make not only my team successful, but grow the business as a whole. It's been 2 years since Franco's Barbershop opened its doors. Today, I'm happy to say that we have a talented group of barbers that inspire me every day. And not only have we become an award-winning barbershop in our area, but now we're busy enough to start opening up new locations. Part of the way in this process, I decided to make the shift from hairdressing into men's grooming full-time. My timing was lucky to where it coincided with the launching of the Aveda Men's Program. I got to meet the author of the Aveda Men's Program, Kurt Kiefner, who took me under his wing and became my mentor. Soon after meeting Kurt, I was invited to come and attend Aveda Congress and work behind the scenes and help him for a stage show. I remember arriving in Minneapolis very excited, Kurt picking me up from the airport. When I got in his car, he shared some news with me. He said, TJ, somebody's missed their flight. You're not going to be behind stage. You're going to be on stage. When I asked him how many people were going to be in the crowd, he said about 3,000. I almost jumped out of the damn car. What ensued was one of the most intense weeks of my life. I was too busy at the time to realize it, but it had such an effect on me that was profound, and it was a huge moment in my career. I thought that my big moment would be being on stage with Kurt, but it was actually the day after, when I got to come and help him at his men's haircutting workshop after the show. They put me in a room full of 50 hairdressers that I'd never met before, sharing some concepts that Kurt had only shared with me the week before. They had no knowledge of what we were sharing with them as far as templates. They had no idea how to use the tools that we gave them. It was slow going at first, but with some clear communication, some patience, and some personal attention, something amazing happened. People really started to take the concept that you shared with them. The haircuts looked great, and they all got really excited. For me, it was a light bulb moment. I knew that I wanted to be an educator. Since that time, I've become certified as an Aveda men's haircutting professional. It's the best thing I ever did. The certification process was very challenging, but I'm glad I did it. At times, I was filled with doubt. I didn't know if I was good enough to work for a company like Aveda, but I put in the work and it paid off. I earned my spot on the team. Becoming an Aveda educator has allowed me to show gratitude towards an industry that's kept my family successful for 3 generations, and I'm thankful for that. I'd like to end today's talk with a challenge to all of you in the crowd. Find that gap in your skill set. Where do you want to grow? Whether you want to be a better technician, whether you want to be a more effective manager, or whether you want to be a mentor or an educator. I can tell you from personal experience that if you take advantage of all that the Aveda network has to offer, that you're going to hit your personal goals by meeting your professional ones first. I'd like to close by saying thank you to all my mentors who've stuck with me along the way, and to all of you in the crowd for listening. Thank you so much.